Hi everybody, ArmyP here for eXplorminate.net, and welcome back to part 14 of our Let's Try of Star Drive 2 with the Sector 0 DLC. Now, if you remember from part 13, we had decided that we were going to rush a research-based victory condition, which is brand new to Sector 0's victories, the new victory conditions that have been added. In doing so, we ended up being attacked by the Osirans, who came with a giant star killer that was absorbing energy from the sun in the sector of Hadouken. We ended up defeating it at great cost, I might add. But in the meantime, as I've gone through a couple of turns off camera, a secret has been revealed to us about the nature of the Osirans. So, I digress. Let's dive right back into it. Our scientists have completed the study of the Starkiller wreckage. What they found has very much altered the view of the Osirans. To begin, the Starkiller was filled with people, millions of them. Biologically, they resemble much of the other life we've encountered throughout the galaxy. Every single one of them was connected to the ship via a neural link that feeds into the ship's central drive mechanism. However, the drive technology on the Star Drive is unlike anything we have ever seen. It appears neither a conventional engine nor a subspace warp engine. It is connected to an array of highly advanced, gargantuan power capacitors. It appears that the purpose of the Star Killer was to charge these capacitors as to engage the drive. What happens when the drive is engaged is a matter of some debate. Some of our scientists believe that this galaxy drive, that is only possible explanation for the drive requiring so much power to traverse through immense distances between galaxies. Other theories are much more exotic. Our scientists have some time considered the possibility of running computations on the actual hardware of space-time itself. From our limited three-dimensional perspective, the computational power displayed by the universe in managing every single particle in existence approaches the magical. Everything works accordingly to the rules at every moment and instantaneously. The universe is a perfect computer. We think that it's possible to actually tap into this computing power, although it's all highly theoretical and beyond the ability of even our most brightest scientists to reduce to a practical memorandum. However, they assure us that the Starkiller's capacitors would have enough energy for something like that if they were fully charged. There's only one thing we can really do to find out exactly what the Starkiller was. That's to build one of our own. In the meantime, we have to make use of smaller versions of the Starkiller's primary weapon, which we have dubbed Starlance. Wow, that was not only difficult to read, but incredibly informative, and I'm intrigued. I'm over here. I'm just going to let everybody know that I've never actually decided to take this particular path while playing Sector 0, so this is as new to me as it is to you watching if you've never encountered the Osirans, and if you had, you never walked down this technological branch. So I'm intrigued. I mean, absorbing all of a sun's energy to somehow traverse through huge amounts of space. Additionally, the fact that we killed upwards to 1 million people on that ship when we took it out is somewhat a little disturbing. So that's great. Let's figure out what we're going to do from here. Now, doesn't look like we have another research option, which is interesting. No special project allocation available to us, which is a bit disconcerting. But it did mention that we can build something called a particular weapon. So let's take a look at our different weapons. We've got chaos damage, mass drivers, singularity cannons. Oh, and the Starlance. Wow. That is the damage output on this is absolutely massive. 8,000 damage and a range of 1,600. Although its recharge time is extensive. I mean, I believe it's 30 points, so let's just compare that to a disruptor cannon, which has 5. So I mean, this is a long charge item, but I am intrigued. Wow, now I'm really debating if we should build another one of these things. I mean, the Starlance, just to have it, the novelty of having such a piece of technology would be nice, right? I think I am going to build one of these bad boys. I wonder how many I can fit on a ship. I mean, not to mention our subspace artillery. I mean, like, that is just an absolute shocking amount of damage. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to enjoy it. Now, I've had a couple suggestions online, and I appreciate everybody for doing this, about how I'm not upgrading my weapon ordnance by either making them arc extended so that they'll actually shoot forward even though they're placed on either side of the ship, or I'm not using them in rapid fire. So I'm actually going to do both. I appreciate your guys' comments, and it just helps me become a better Star Drive 2 player, and let's face it, that's appreciated. So this is not going to be the most optimally designed ship. I'm just using it because I'm actually kind of interested in having one of these bad boys in my fleet if for whatever reason we end up getting into a sticky situation. In the meantime, we are flying with our research victory. So our research right now, I believe, and I don't have the stats in my screen as I'm building this crazy point defense ship, is that we're producing something along the lines of 1,650 beakers per turn. Now, if you remember the last couple Let's Plays, that has been an increase from 4, 8, 12. I mean, we're at 1,600, which is an impressive feat. It means that I think when it comes to victory, everybody, it's pretty much assured. But for the fun of it, we haven't had a chance to see what all these Osirans want. Okay, this bad boy here, which I don't know what I'm going to name yet, is consuming a absolutely monstrous amount of energy. But we have done fusion. I think produces 100. Anti is 250. So I'll cut a couple of these bad boys down. Wow, look at the chart. Like I'm. That is shocking. That is a shocking amount of power requirements. Put a power capacitor down. I think that we should be good. Now, why is... Oh, we're actually... Wow, that is... We're still nowhere close to being enough power. Oh, wow. How are we doing here? 41 seconds. Put a C... Oh, the CYC is huge. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to use some of the fun things that we've kind of discovered over the last while, because let's face it, these bad boys are just power hungry. And I want to be able to outfit this ship with as much damage as I possibly can put out. If that means sacrificing some of the newer technologies that we've recently discovered, so be it, sir. So be it. Yeah, nowhere close to being able to, even with the canopy shields here. I mean, this is a very power hungry vehicle, and I am not building to any type of optimal state. Wow. I actually think I might have to take this out, put it next to these shields, and make another power reactor. How are we there? Alright, let's call this bad boy Star Lance. Why not? Okay, we've got the Star Lance, and it's saved. I don't like the color scheme though. I think I'm going to change it to... Where's my Star Lance? Okay, I'm going to change it to a color, something unique. Oh, the black. That's nice. Let's see if I can see that. Yeah, so we're going to do this black and yellow paint scheme. We're going to build one of these things. It looks like we're good for our CP limit, which has always been a bit of an issue. So let's see what our possible production is. 10. All my guys here, you're producing 110 beakers. 105. Okay, so we're going to build a 1 star killer, please. Like asking for, you know, coffee at a diner. 1 Star Lance, please. Thank you, sir. Okay. We got Star Lance, Star Killer. Whoa, I can actually build a Star Killer? 91 turns, my god. Oh, I thought that for some reason the idea was that we could actually build a smaller version, but we can actually build a killer too. That's insane! Can you imagine the damage we could do? We could go into enemy territory and eradicate stars. I had no idea that this was even feasible. Bravo! Bravo, Sector 0 DLC. This is actually really cool. I want to build one. I don't know what it is. It's like 77 turns. I might have to increase my production slightly. I mean, this is actually, I think, my best producing planet. Yeah, by far, and it's like nearly a 100-turn commitment. But you know, that's the way it should be, right? Like, yeah, if you could build a Star Killer in 13 turns, it would pretty much make the end game complete wipe. Okay, it looks like we still got some spy activity, but my spies have been doing just a ripe job. Okay. Everybody at this point is pretty much so wrapped up in getting to a research victory that I'm not sweating too much about potential threats. Well, hello, Mr. Chuck. I remember the last time we had this conversation, when I was cutting your entire empire right in half and claiming it for my own. And by the way, I sleep in your bed every night on your home planet. Now what would you like? Ah, hello again. We have a wonderful proposal for you today. This proposal is that you pay us some money on a regular schedule. In exchange, we don't kill and eat you. A good deal for all, yes? I would say blow it out your exterior, sir, because I am not taking that deal. Wow, why is everybody demanding tribute? Absolutely not. Okay, we got dark matter reactors researched, which will make everything good. So you can tell right here that I've come into the end of my research trees in several different locations, right? And what my hope is that I'm going to be able to get in all 5 of locations and then be able to research them and win a research victory. But I'm still kind of curious if Bioterminator. Oh, that was that was pretty much a neurotoxin bomb that we had talked about. I'm curious about the Star Killer and the Osirans. I'm kind of curious if we start to go down this research tree. What would you like? Yeah, I'll confirm that deal. No problem. So she just wanted to do some basic trade. You know, she wasn't demanding tribute, and I appreciate that. Although I might want to build a couple freighters just in case someone decides to attack me. Because if someone decides to attack me, and I lose about 4 or 5 freighters, I could have about a dozen planets starving on any given time. All right, the construction of the Star Lance has been completed. He is ripe with absolutely no fuel, so we'll take him to Titan, which is in our sector, just in case someone gets saucy with us. And we're gonna, we'll build a Star Killer. Why not? I don't think we're gonna last another 77 turns, but you know what? You never know. Okay, our super soldier serum has been effectively completed. which takes us to one final comment. I'm gonna do one final research tree, and then we can start going directly for a research victory. 20% to hit points. I'm going mass reduction, or mass reduction, which makes it so that our ships are actually a bit cheaper to complete. So yeah, if you look in the upper right hand corner right now, I'm at 1606 beakers, which, let's face it, is really impressive. So I always find this interesting about the AI in this game. One minute he's like, I want 10% of your entire economy paid to us in tribute. And I'm like, no, you know what? Don't make me go on a giant wolf purge, because I've already done it to giant space-faring cockroaches. And he's like, whoa, whoa. How about we trade? And I'll confirm that deal. I'm producing, my economy is in such great shape right now. I mean, it's shocking. I got 13,174 in my bank, 78 plus 78, but my tax is like ridiculously low. You know what? You seem like a really nice person there, Paula, but I'm kind of not interested in you right now. At this point of the game, being efficient's probably less effective than just, basically rushing towards a victory condition that I intend to have. I'll make you produce something just for fun. Stock exchange. Everybody seems happy. Good, good. What the heck is going on there? I think that I've actually got an elephant producing food. That's ridiculous. Yeah, there you go. 1,633 beakers. Now, here's a funny thing. Got mass reduction. Let's see what that Star Killer's producing at. Oh, 57 turns. I actually may be able to build one in time before my research victories. We'll see, though. We'll see. Titan, Star Fortress. Wow. Now this is kind of curious. The Star Fortress is an ultimate space station, wielding a huge arsenal of weapons, including a fighter bay and a bomber bay. This Star Fortress is capable of stopping all but the most determined of space assaults. Upgrades any existing starbase or battle station. Wow, I typically take Titan construction just because I love to be able to play Lego on the largest platform, and that's the Titan ship. But the Star Fortress is curious because I'd love to be able to have an empire-wide defense grid just instantly upgrade. So just in case any of my neighbors got saucy on me, they'd have a really hard time cutting into my sector of space. So I'm gonna do that. In the meantime, everybody seems to be beakering right out. Look at this, almost 1,700 beakers. I love it. I can see from my sensor grid that doesn't look like too many things are. Nobody's really interested in stopping me as I go towards my research victory. Okay, what would you like there? No, giant plant. I'm not interested in that. Star Fortress has been researched. Okay, now what do we got here? Doesn't look like my CP went up very much. I thought that it was supposed to. Let's go to a planet and see if I can upgrade. Oh, see, I actually have to build the upgrade. I thought for some reason that we were going to get lucky and all of our current space stations were going to go to Star Fortresses, which doesn't make it nearly as excellent choice as I thought. Okay, here we go. We can start building all of the different, so we got Ascension, Megalith, and how many died? 16, 11, 9, 11. Okay, so we're gonna start our push forward into a research victory. We're just kind of clocking in. This is just, again, because of the way that the espionage works, we're just constantly being probed. And because we've got so many spies... reject, I don't need another hero, sir. we constantly. Okay, so a path to ascension. For centuries, our scholars and scientists have strived to defeat the inevitability of death. And to a certain extent, they have succeeded. With nanotechnology and cybernetics, we now possess the capability to extend our mortal lifespans indefinitely. Even so, these advancements have limits. We can rejuvenate our bodies and even restore our minds from backups, although this poses its own questions as whether a backup is really a person or us. And yet we still remain vulnerable. What if the machinery for these processes is destroyed? War, accident, supernova, and even heat death in our galaxy. These are serious concerns. Will he believe that there is another way, a way for us to achieve true immortality? Our consciousness has been converted to a timeless and indestructible form by essentially uploading it to the fabric of space-time itself. To achieve this goal, we would need an advance in our scientists to logical ends. Beyond this, godhood awaits us. Wow. Imagine that pitch. Throwing that to the Kurathi leader, which is me. Pitch that. Sounds good to me. Now, I'm curious. Okay, I'm just going to check the victory conditions to see what, if we're any closer. Become a god. So we've got 66. The Czech affiliation have been completely ground to a halt. Remember, there was a time where they were within a couple techs of us. I think what they were doing, they were actually trading with different places to try to keep up with us. But we are a full 10 techs ahead, and at any given time, your tech can cost 10 to 15. So it means we're 150 turns ahead. Score victory, we have 339 turns. Wow, the Drela Council has really gone up. You know, for the most part, even though this is on normal, the AIs remained relatively competitive, which is, I think that's kind of impressive. Might not be sharper than the average bear, but all things being considered equal, it's not too bad. The Ascension interface. Oh, interesting. The Czech affiliation has declared war on the polyp symbiosis. Those poor space plants, they probably have no chance in hell. Well, good luck to you both. Okay, everybody's happy on that. Pitch 1 and 2, they're happy. Good. Yeah, everybody's happy. I would honestly care less, but unfortunately I'm on the verge of becoming some type of space bear god by uploading my entire population's brainwaves into the fabric of space and time. So, you know, the concerns of mere mortals are below me. Okay, here we go. The second one. Hello, my friend. We were thinking the perfect time for trade. My ordnance fabricator technology. You're in the middle of a war with a giant plant. Beat it. Okay. And we're going to go with the propaganda. 167 turns. Is that what that said? Wow. Things are more expensive than they used to be. What can I say? Okay, we're just kind of just racing through here. And you know, unfortunately, this has been, and this is the unfortunate part about research victories, is that when you have a military that probably exceeds everybody else in your immediate area, and at the exact same time you are ahead on a research scale, I always find it's kind of difficult because you end up, no matter what game you play, you end up just hitting that, that end turn button. Pay you tribute. How about I rip out your teeth and shove them somewhere uncomfortable? No. back to my initial train of thought, is that in most 4X games, this is probably one of the downsides, is that you essentially are just racing towards as fast as you can and not really engaging with much of the rest of the game, right? But I think that for what we've gone through in this Let's Try, we've engaged, we've been diplomatic, and now it's time for us to enjoy the sweet, sweet versions of our victory. Which, if I can press the right button here, geez, I'm falling apart at the edges here. Okay, Ascension computing, which is important when we're going to download our entire consciousness to the fabric of space and time. Kind of wish that we could have, oh, one thing I didn't notice, this is actually kind of funny. Iona has been completely surrounded by space stations by the Draelok Council. I haven't been paying much attention to it just because it's not really that important to me. It's not a high yield, you know. I mean, I've got some space elephants, which is awesome, don't get me wrong. But look what she's done here. I think each one of these she's paying, you know, maybe up to 5 BC per turn, so she's got, you know, close to 30 BC negative to her economy, even more, and just littering them everywhere. I'm either I have a fierce reputation that precedes me, or she's just being overly cautious. No, I enjoy sushi way too much, and my population loves squid. So, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be able to have you as a statesman, sir. But have a nice day! Okay. As we continue on to our computing background. But yeah, my original point was that I was kind of hoping that we could see a little bit more. Yeah, okay, so you've demanded tribute, and now you want to trade? Sure, why not? So it does look like the... Wow, that's a large invasion fleet. Sorry, is that... Whose invasion fleet was that? Okay, that's the Chucks. It's too bad we didn't have like long-range scanners or sensors where we can see how that... You know, how that war was going. Okay, the Ascension Megalith. In exactly 16 turns, assuming that something disastrous doesn't happen. Oh, look at this! I'm actually going to be able to build a Star Killer in 2 turns. Let's hope it doesn't cripple my CP. Rise of the Star Killer. Construction of our own Star Killer is now completed. We have emulated the design in every way, straight down to jacking millions of our own volunteers into the system. We're going to see exactly what this thing is meant to do. Then we're going to need to charge its capacitors. There's only one way for the Star Killer to charge its capacitors. We'll need to drain 10 systems to charge it full. After that, we'll be able to throw the switch and see what this thing is designed to do. Yes! Kind of weird a little bit though. 10 different stars? My god. That is a frightening amount. I mean... the implications of draining 10 stars, not to mention all of the possible planets that we're going to completely render inoperable and dead. I don't know, man. I mean, killing space cockroaches is one thing, but this is a whole different beast. Hey, look at this thing. I got a million of my tradespeople in there. I don't know. I'm struggling. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to sit on that and wait. Oh, what would you like there, Mr. Polyp? You want deep core mining for nothing. Well, you know what? You're probably having a pretty rough deal with the Chuck, who I don't like, and you did give us some information on them earlier in this in our endeavor. So why not? I will give it to you. And you're very welcome, plant life creature. In the meantime, it does look like the Chuck are doing their fair share of getting it in there. Although their larger fleet has not been seen. I'm kind of curious where it went. Oh, there it is. Let's see how it looks. It looks even larger than it did before. Which is, you know, slightly frightening me. I mean, I honestly don't think that they're going to stop us with 6 turns left. It probably takes that amount of time just to get their fleet engaged in some type of combat readiness. Ooh, they did. They went over and they took over a planet deep into Polyp sector. Ooh, a tiny tundra planet with nothing on it. I bet you feel so good about yourself. And here it is, the monolith. Okay, so I have to build this thing now, so I'm going to switch all my guys over. Ascension Megalith. 80 turns. You must be joking me. Oh my god, that is a long distance. Okay, I thought for certain that it was going to be something a little bit more reasonable, but I was not correct. Oh wow. Yeah, and unfortunately, that's just, even if I put, what have I got here? 163, 100, yeah, okay, I guess I could do it that way. Might cut down a couple turns, but everybody, I apologize. I did not think that the megalith was actually going to take that much time. 80 turns is a lot to kind of crack through just by sitting here idly by hitting the end turn button. But what I intend to do is I'm going to stop this Let's Play right now, right towards the end. So what we've accomplished on this Let's Try, well, we've advanced ourselves technologically to the point where we are absolutely superior to everybody else. There's nothing that can stop us, and there's nobody in our way. Additionally, we were able to make our own ship called the Starlance, which we have yet to try out. And we were able to create our own Star Killer, which if we choose to do, we could destroy 10 different stars in order to charge it, flip the switch, and to see what happens. And finally, we've got one building to build, and that I do believe is the Ascension Megalith. And if we build it, we will achieve research victory in Star Drive 2. So what's coming up for the next one? Well, I think what we're going to try to do is, for the next Let's Play, we're going to actually achieve the research victory. But at the same time, what I'm kind of going to try to do is I'm going to show you that victory, and then I might make another video showing what's going to happen if we take that Stellar Killer and go to town and absorb 10 stars worth of energy and flip that switch to see what happens past that. Because I know you're curious, I'm definitely curious, so I think we should record it. Okay, so everybody, this has been ArmyP for eXplorminate.net. As always, it has been a pleasure. Keep those comments from the below going. Any suggestions you might have is great. And I really hope that you've enjoyed the Let's Try, because I have been enjoying making it. So I'll see you next time.